coffee pours, your hand slips, a word sticks on your tongue, one side of your face feels heavy for a moment. Is this just aging, or is your brain begging for help? Every 40 seconds, someone has a stroke. The scariest part? It can look exactly like normal aging for the first few minutes, and that's when most people wait. In the next 2 minutes, I'll show you a simple test you can do right now to spot a stroke before it's too late, and it could save your independence, even your life. Aging creeps in slowly. Stroke strikes like lightning. Drooping face, weak arm, slurred words, sudden dizziness. Seconds matter because brain cells are dying every minute you delay. By the end of this video, you'll know the 2-minute fast test doctors use and the hidden signs that mimic aging but mean act now. This isn't scaremongering. It's exactly what neurologists teach families to recognize, because the faster you act, the better the recovery. Before we go on, tell me in the comments, have you or a loved one ever had sudden weakness or speech trouble that went away? Type yes or no. Your story might help save someone else. Most people over 60 think, I'm just getting older. The truth is, strokes often disguise themselves as normal aging until it's too late. And once brain cells die, they don't come back. I've seen families miss the signs because the changes were so subtle. They waited, hoping it would pass, and by the time they got help, the damage was permanent. But I've also seen people walk back out of the hospital, independent and smiling, because they acted within minutes. This is not just about survival. This is about whether you can keep gardening, cooking, driving, holding your grandchild, the little freedoms that make life worth living. In the next few minutes, you'll learn a 2-minute test doctors trust to tell aging from a stroke. It's simple, it's free, and it could be the reason you stay independent. Tell me in the comments, do you think you could spot the difference right now if it happened to you? Type yes if you're confident, or no if you're not sure yet. Your answer might help someone else feel less alone. Here's where things get practical. Because knowing the difference between aging and stroke is only half the battle. You need a tool you can use right away, at home in under 2 minutes. Doctors have one simple test that works anywhere. It's called the FAST test, and it saves thousands of lives every year. Research from the American Stroke Association shows that when FAST is used quickly, treatment success rates nearly double. The tragedy is most people don't test. They wait. They tell themselves, I'll see if it passes. And by the time they decide to act, it's too late for the best treatment window. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the FAST test step by step, so you'll know exactly what to look for in yourself or a loved one. This is the 2-minute test that could save your brain. Type FAST in the comments if you've heard of this test before, or type new if this is your first time learning about it. You might teach someone else something that saves their life. Step 1. Face. The first step in the FAST test is face. Ask the person to smile. Look closely. Does one side of the face droop? Is the smile uneven? Even a slight difference can be a red flag. When a stroke blocks blood flow to the part of the brain that controls facial muscles, one side can suddenly lose strength. Neurologists say this is often the very first sign, and it's visible within seconds. Here's the heartbreaking truth. Many families see the droop, but wait, hoping it will go away. Every minute they wait, up to 2 million brain cells die. That's the difference between walking on your own tomorrow or needing help for the rest of your life. The good news is there's a simple 2-minute test you can do at home to spot a stroke from aging changes, and we'll walk through it together step by step. Before we go further, have you ever seen someone suddenly go weak or lose words? Type yes if you have, no if you haven't. Your story might save someone else's life. Here's where things get practical, because knowing the difference between aging and stroke is only half the battle. You need a tool you can use right away at home in under 2 minutes. Doctors have one simple test that works anywhere. It's called the FAST test, and it saves thousands of lives every year. Research from the American Stroke Association shows that when FAST is used quickly, treatment success rates nearly double. The tragedy is, most people don't test. They wait. They tell themselves, I'll see if it passes. And by the time they decide to act, it's too late for the best treatment window. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the FAST test step by step, so you'll know exactly what to look for in yourself or a loved one. This is the 2-minute test that could save your brain. Type FAST in the comments if you've ever heard of this test before, or type new if this is your first time learning about it. You might teach someone else something that saves their life. Step 1. Face. The first step in the FAST test is face. Ask the person to smile. Look closely. Does one side of the face droop? Is the smile uneven? Even a slight difference can be a red flag. When a stroke blocks blood flow to the part of the brain that controls facial muscles, one side can suddenly lose strength. Neurologists say this is often the very first sign, and it's visible within seconds. Here's the heartbreaking truth. Many families see the droop but wait, hoping it will go away. Every minute they wait, up to 2 million brain cells die. That's why acting right away is so critical. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old grandmother who noticed her reflection in the bathroom mirror looked different. Her left cheek felt heavy, and her smile was crooked. She thought maybe she had just slept funny and went back to bed. By the time her daughter checked on her, precious hours had passed, and the damage was permanent. She now says, "I wish I had known that even a small change in my face could mean a stroke." Next time you look in the mirror or see a loved one smile, you'll remember this. That small difference could be the brain's first cry for help. Go ahead and try it now. Smile at yourself in the mirror. Do both sides lift evenly? If you notice anything unusual, don't wait. And tell me in the comments. Did you try it? Type yes if you did. You may inspire someone else to check too. Step 2. Arms. The second step in the FAST test is arms. Ask the person to raise both arms straight out in front of them and hold them there. Watch carefully. Does one arm drift down while the other stays up? That's a classic warning sign. This happens because the part of the brain controlling muscle strength on one side isn't getting blood flow. Neurologists call this pronator drift, and it can be one of the clearest indicators that a stroke is happening. Here's why this step is critical. Even if the person feels fine, their arm may slowly drop without them realizing it. Every minute that passes without action means more brain damage and a harder recovery. Take Robert's story. He was having coffee with friends when they noticed his left arm slipping off the table again and again. They asked him to hold both arms out. One fell almost immediately. They called 911 on the spot, and doctors were able to dissolve the clot before major damage occurred.
Type yes in the comments if you just tried the arm test while watching this video. You might inspire another senior to check themselves too, and that could save a life. Step 3. Speech. The third step is speech. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence like, "Today is a sunny day." Listen closely. Does it sound slurred, strange, or hard to understand? Are they saying the wrong words or struggling to get the sentence out? This test works because speech changes are one of the most sensitive early signs of a stroke. When the brain's language center is starved of oxygen, even for a minute, it can affect the ability to form or understand words. Here's the danger. Many people brush this off as tiredness, dehydration, or just a senior moment. But if it comes on suddenly, it could be your brain's alarm bell telling you a stroke is happening right now. Linda, a 70-year-old grandmother, was chatting on the phone with her daughter when her sentences suddenly turned to jumbled sounds. Her daughter thought it was a bad phone line at first, but when she asked her mom to repeat a simple phrase and it still didn't sound right, she called 911 immediately. Linda got treatment within an hour and made a full recovery. Here's something powerful you can try right now. Say a full sentence. Pay attention to how it sounds. Clear speech is a good sign, but if anything feels off, take it seriously. Type speech in the comments if you just tried this. Someone might see your comment and check themselves too, and that could be life-saving. Step 4. Time. The final step is time, and it's the most critical. If any of the signs we've covered show up, face drooping, arm weakness, or slurred speech, don't wait. call 911 right away. Every minute you wait, more brain cells are lost. Doctors call the first 3 hours after a stroke the golden window. Patients treated within this time are far more likely to walk, talk, and live independently afterward. Miss that window, and the damage can become permanent. Here's the harsh truth. For every single minute a stroke goes untreated, nearly 2 million brain cells die. Waiting to see if it gets better is the most dangerous mistake you can make. Mr. Anthony, a 72-year-old retired firefighter, felt weakness in his left arm one evening. His wife didn't hesitate. She called 911 within minutes. He was given clot-busting treatment in under 90 minutes and walked out of the hospital just 2 days later. His doctor said that fast action likely saved his speech and independence. This is why time is the most important step, because it gives you the power to protect your brain and your future. The faster you act, the better your chances. Type time in the comments if you just learned something new about this golden window. Someone else might see it and remember to act quickly if they ever face this moment. Here's the part that surprises most seniors. Not every stroke looks like the ones you see on TV with dramatic drooping faces and collapsing patients. Some of the most dangerous strokes hide behind symptoms we often blame on just getting older. Neurologists call these silent or mini strokes, TIAs. Transient ischemic attacks. They can last just a few minutes, and by the time you think about calling the doctor, the symptoms may have faded. But research shows that 1 in 3 people who experience a TIA will have a major stroke within 90 days. Half of those within 48 hours. That's why brushing off dizziness, blurred vision, or a brief moment where you can't find your words is so dangerous. I've seen too many seniors say, "I felt fine after 10 minutes, only to suffer a disabling stroke within the week." Take the case of Margaret, 68, who was cooking dinner when her right hand suddenly felt clumsy and she dropped a spoon. It lasted less than 5 minutes, so she ignored it. 3 days later, she had a full stroke that left her unable to use that same hand for months. Doctors said the mini stroke was her warning sign, one she sadly didn't act on in time. These hidden signs can include brief vision loss, sudden confusion, or even a strange numbness that vanishes quickly. Most people miss them because they seem too small to be serious, but they're your brain's way of whispering something is wrong. Let me know in the comments, have you ever had a strange moment like this where your body felt off for a few minutes and then went back to normal? Your story might help someone else take action before it's too late. Here's the good news. You can do a quick 2-minute check right at home that doctors use in the ER to spot a stroke fast. It's called the FAST test, and it can literally save your brain. Step 1. Face. Go to a mirror or ask someone to look at you. Smile. Is one side drooping or not lifting like the other? That's your first warning sign. Step 2. Arms. Raise both arms straight in front of you and hold them there. Does one drift downward or feel too weak to stay up? That's step 2. Step 3. Speech. Say a simple sentence out loud, like, "Today is a sunny day." Listen closely. Does it sound slurred, strange, or hard to understand? Are they saying the wrong words or struggling to get the sentence out? This is step 3. Step 4. Time. If any of these are positive, time is your enemy. Call 911 right away. Don't wait to see if it gets better. Every minute you wait, brain cells die, nearly 2 million per minute. Studies published in Stroke Journal show that patients who arrive at the hospital within 3 hours of their first symptom are far more likely to recover fully. This simple test can get you there in time. And here's the hopeful part. When stroke treatment is given quickly, many people walk out of the hospital with little or no lasting damage. Take a moment to try the FAST test right now. It's quick, it's simple, and it could save your life one day. Tell me in the comments, did you pass all 4 steps? Some of the earliest stroke warnings don't come from your arms or speech. They show up in your eyes and in your balance.
These are the signs most people dismiss as just getting older, and that mistake can cost years of independence. If your vision suddenly changes, blurs, doubles, or one eye goes dark, it's not a normal aging shift. Age-related changes happen slowly over months or years. Stroke-related vision loss happens in seconds. It can look like half your visual field just disappeared, or like a curtain dropping on one side. Caroline, 70, was reading her favorite mystery novel when suddenly the right side of the page seemed blank. She thought her glasses were dirty, but minutes later she was in the ER being treated for an occipital stroke. Because she acted fast, she recovered most of her sight. Your balance can also reveal trouble. If you suddenly feel clumsy, stumble to one side, or can't coordinate your steps, don't write it off as fatigue. Normal aging makes balance gradually worse over years. Stroke attacks your coordination in seconds. Here's a quick home check. Stand with your feet together and close your eyes for 10 seconds. If you suddenly tip or feel you can't stay upright, that's a sign to take seriously, especially if it comes with dizziness, nausea, or weakness.
Tell me in the comments, have you ever had a moment where your balance suddenly gave out or your vision blurred for no reason? Your story could help another senior take action in time. One of the most telling differences between normal aging and a stroke is how your body feels on one side. Aging changes come slowly and affect both sides equally. Stroke shows up suddenly and almost always on one side. If your face, arm, or leg suddenly feels numb, heavy, or tingly on just one side, that's not just circulation. It's one of the most common stroke warnings. Doctors call this hemiparesis, weakness or numbness on half the body. Harold, a 70-year-old retired bus driver, was playing cards when his left hand went numb, as if it had fallen asleep. Within minutes, he couldn't feel the cards at all. His friends called 911 immediately. That decision saved him from permanent paralysis. When numbness spreads quickly or is paired with slurred speech or a drooping face, every minute matters. For every minute a stroke goes untreated, nearly 2 million brain cells die. Waiting could be the difference between walking again or never regaining full use of that side of your body. Here's a quick way to check. Close your eyes and have someone lightly touch both hands or cheeks. If one side feels weaker or less sensitive, call emergency services right away. Don't wait to see if it gets better. Research from the National Stroke Association shows that 65% of stroke survivors report sudden numbness or tingling as their very first symptom, yet many waited hours before seeking help. Tell me in the comments, have you ever had one-sided tingling or weakness that scared you? Sharing could help someone else recognize the warning in time. Doctors around the world use a simple, powerful tool to catch strokes early, the FAST test, and you can do it at home in under 2 minutes. Face. Ask the person to smile. Is one side drooping or not moving the same as the other? That's a major red flag. Arms. Ask them to raise both arms straight out. If one arm drifts down or can't be lifted, that's another clear warning. Speech. Have them repeat a simple sentence, like, "Today is a sunny day." Listen carefully. Is their speech slurred, slow, or strange? If yes, treat it as an emergency. Time lost is brain lost, so if you see even one of these signs, call 911 immediately. Don't wait. Don't try to sleep it off. Don't wait to see if it goes away. Every minute you save can mean thousands of brain cells protected and a far better chance at walking, speaking, and living independently after a stroke. Eleanor, a 68-year-old choir singer, felt numbness in her cheek during rehearsal. A friend knew the FAST test, spotted her slurred speech, and called for help. Eleanor got clot-busting treatment in the golden window. Today, she's back singing every Sunday. Write FAST in the comments if you just learned this test and promise to remember it. It could help someone you love. Your eyes can be the very first alarm bell your brain rings, and sadly, many seniors miss it. Stroke doesn't just affect movement and speech. It can attack the part of your brain that processes vision, creating a silent danger that feels like just a bad day for your eyesight. Imagine reading the morning paper and suddenly the words on the right side have disappeared. Or you look up and half the TV screen is just gone.
Many brush it off, thinking they need new glasses, but this could be the first sign of a stroke. The American Academy of Ophthalmology reports that nearly 30% of stroke patients experience sudden vision loss, blurred vision, or double vision as one of their first symptoms. This happens because blood flow to the occipital lobe, the part of the brain that processes sight, is disrupted. And it can happen in seconds. Take Caroline, a 72-year-old grandmother from California. She was halfway through her favorite mystery novel when she noticed that all the words on one side of the page had vanished. She thought her glasses were dirty, cleaned them, but nothing changed. Luckily, her grandson remembered hearing about vision loss as a stroke sign and called 911. Today, Caroline still enjoys her books, though she uses larger print, and credits her grandson for saving her independence. Cover one eye, then the other, right now. Does your vision seem clear and even? This 10-second habit could one day save your brain. Tell me in the comments if you've ever had blurry or doubled vision that came out of nowhere. Your story might help someone else take action in time. But vision is just one of the clues. Your brain can also whisper through your balance, and when that signal comes, you must act fast. Let's talk about that next. Your legs are often the first messengers when your brain is in trouble. A stroke can quietly steal your balance long before anyone realizes what's happening, and many seniors write it off as just getting older. Picture this. You're standing in the kitchen, reaching for a glass, and suddenly the floor feels tilted. You stumble sideways, grab the counter, and think, maybe you just got up too fast. But if this comes out of nowhere, it could be your brain crying for help. The CDC reports that sudden loss of coordination is one of the most overlooked early signs of a stroke, and yet catching it early can mean the difference between walking independently and years of rehab. Unlike normal aging, which causes a slow, gradual wobble, stroke-related imbalance is instant. 1 minute you're steady, the next your legs refuse to cooperate. Take Walter, a 68-year-old grandfather who loved dancing with his wife. One evening, he suddenly found himself swaying and unable to take a single step without holding onto the wall. He thought it was low blood sugar, but his daughter insisted on calling 911. Doctors confirmed a cerebellar stroke, the part of the brain that controls balance. Because they acted quickly, Walter was in rehab within 48 hours, and today he's back to dancing at family gatherings, though with a little more gratitude for every step. Here's something you can try right now. Stand up, place one foot in front of the other, and close your eyes for 5 seconds. Can you stay steady? If not, it could be a warning sign, especially if the unsteadiness is new. Tell me in the comments if you've ever felt sudden dizziness or balance loss. Your story could inspire someone else to take action before it's too late. And balance isn't the only signal your brain sends. Sometimes it speaks through numbness. And when it does, it's time to act fast. Let's talk about that next. Imagine this. You're holding a cup of tea, and suddenly your hand feels like it's asleep. The tingling spreads up your arm. You try to shake it off, but the sensation doesn't go away. This isn't pins and needles from sitting wrong. This could be your brain begging for help. According to the National Stroke Association, 65% of stroke survivors report sudden numbness or tingling, usually on one side of the body. That's because when a stroke blocks blood flow to the sensory cortex of the brain, the signals from that side are cut off. With normal aging, tingling or numbness usually shows up in both feet over months or years, often from circulation issues or neuropathy. But a stroke is different. It's sudden, it's one-sided, and it can spread within minutes. Harold, a 70-year-old retired bus driver, was playing cards with friends when his left hand suddenly felt like it had vanished. He couldn't even feel the cards. Within minutes, the numbness climbed up his arm. His friends acted fast, called 911, and doctors confirmed a stroke. Today, Harold is back to playing cards, though he tells everyone, if I had waited even 30 minutes, I might have lost this hand forever.
Here's a simple way to check. Close your eyes and ask someone to touch both of your cheeks, then both of your hands. Do you feel the touch equally on both sides? If one side feels weaker, that's a red flag. Don't wait. Call emergency services immediately. Have you ever experienced sudden numbness or tingling that scared you? Share your story in the comments. It might convince someone else to get help in time. And sometimes the warning doesn't come as numbness. It hits like pain, the worst headache of your life. That's what we'll uncover in the next module. You're sitting in your favorite chair, enjoying a quiet evening, when out of nowhere, a headache slams into you. Not a slow, dull ache, a lightning strike.
the worst headache of your life. Doctors call this a red flag for a hemorrhagic stroke when a blood vessel in the brain bursts. Research published in Stroke Journal shows that nearly 25% of these strokes begin with a sudden, severe headache, often with nausea, vomiting, or blurred vision. Normal headaches build slowly, respond to rest, and usually fade. Stroke headaches are different. They explode into your life without warning, often described as a thunderclap or as if someone flipped a pain switch in your head. Angela, 68, remembers hers clearly. It felt like my skull was going to split in half. Her husband didn't wait. He called 911 immediately. That decision gave doctors the critical time they needed to stop the bleeding and save her speech and memory. Today, Angela says if he had waited for me to lie down, I might not be here. If you ever get a sudden headache that feels sharper, stronger, and completely unlike anything you've ever had before, don't take painkillers and wait. Don't sleep it off. Call emergency services immediately. Have you or someone you know ever had a headache so sudden and severe it scared you? Share in the comments. Your story could help someone else act faster. And now we're moving to one of the most visible, easy to spot signs, the face. A mirror can sometimes save your life. Imagine catching your reflection in the mirror and realizing something feels off. One side of your smile lifts, but the other stays still. Your cheek feels heavy. Your eyelid looks lower than usual. This is not just a funny look. This could be one of the clearest, most urgent signs your brain is under attack. When a stroke affects the part of the brain that controls facial muscles, one side weakens almost instantly. Doctors recommend the FAST test. F, face. Ask them to smile. Is one side drooping? A, arms. Can they raise both arms evenly? S, speech. Is it slurred or strange? T, time. If any answer is yes, it's time to call 911 immediately. Real life story. Mr. Samuel, 72, almost ignored his. He thought he had just slept wrong. Luckily, his daughter noticed and made him smile for a picture. When she saw the droop, she called emergency services right away. Because of that fast action, Samuel got clot-busting treatment in time and is now back to playing with his grandkids. If you notice sudden facial drooping, don't wait to see if it passes. Don't lie down. Don't delay. Every second, brain cells are dying. Try this right now. Look in the mirror, smile, and raise both arms. Do they look even? If yes, celebrate that moment, but remember what to do if you ever spot a droop. Type yes in the comments if you just tried this test. Next, let's put all of these signs together and talk about the 2-minute test that can save a life and how to use it anytime you're unsure. We've covered all the early signs: face droop, arm weakness, slurred speech, sudden vision changes, dizziness, numbness, clumsiness, and headaches. But when these moments happen in real life, you don't have time to think through a checklist. That's why experts recommend one simple tool that can save a life: the FAST test. It takes just 2 minutes. Fast breakdown. F, face. Ask them to smile. Is one side drooping? A, arms. Can they raise both arms evenly? S, speech. Is it slurred or strange? T, time. If the answer to any of these is yes, it's time to call 911 immediately. Dr. Oz often reminds viewers that this test is so powerful because it removes hesitation. It doesn't matter if you're 100% sure it's a stroke. The moment you see one red flag, call. Acting in the first hour can prevent brain damage, paralysis, or death. Real life story. Mrs. Carl, 68, was hosting Sunday dinner when she noticed her husband struggling past the salt shaker. His left arm was weak, his words slightly slurred. She remembered fast, called emergency services within minutes, and doctors were able to dissolve the clot quickly. Today, he walks without assistance. That phone call changed everything. Please try the FAST test right now on yourself or a loved one. Practice it once so it becomes second nature. When the moment comes, and for some families it will, you won't freeze, you'll act. And that action can mean the difference between years of independence and years of struggle. Type FAST in the comments if you try this test right now. You might inspire someone else to do the same, and that might save a life. Next, we'll go beyond the emergency response and talk about prevention, small daily habits that reduce stroke risk and keep your brain and independence safe for years to come. Recognizing a stroke is powerful, but prevention is even more powerful because every step you take today can make sure you never have to use the FAST test tomorrow. Your brain is a living organ, hungry for blood flow, oxygen, and the right nutrients, and you have more control over that than you think. Researchers at the American Heart Association say that up to 80% of strokes are preventable with simple daily habits. That means 4 out of 5 strokes never need to happen. Nutrition habits. Focus on real foods, like leafy greens like spinach and kale, berries and beans and whole grains. These keep arteries clear and blood pressure steady. Add omega-3 fats from salmon, sardines, or walnuts twice a week. They calm inflammation and keep blood vessels flexible. Cut back on excess salt and processed food. Your blood pressure will thank you. Just 20 minutes of brisk walking a day can cut your stroke risk by 30%. You don't need a gym membership. Walking around the block counts. Every hour, stand up, stretch, or move your legs. Even light movement keeps blood from pooling and prevents clots. Drink water consistently. Dehydration thickens blood, making clots more likely. Check your blood pressure at home once a week. High blood pressure is the silent driver behind most strokes, but it's also the easiest to control once you know your numbers. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. During deep sleep, blood pressure naturally dips, giving your arteries a rest. Practice small stress relievers, deep breathing, listening to music, prayer, or meditation. Chronic stress keeps blood pressure high and arteries stiff. Real life story. Mrs. Nina, 72, began a simple habit, a daily 15-minute walk after dinner with your neighbor. Over a year, her blood pressure dropped 15 points, her cholesterol improved, and she reports she sleeps like a baby now. Small steps, big results.
Walking, dancing, light yoga. It doesn't have to be intense. Just 30 minutes of movement most days lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and strengthens the heart. Studies show even 3 10-minute walks spread throughout the day have a big impact. Load your plate with colorful vegetables, berries, and leafy greens. Add omega-3 rich foods like salmon or walnuts twice a week. Limit processed meats and fried foods. Research from Harvard shows a diet rich in whole foods can reduce stroke risk by up to 30%. Drink enough water to keep urine light yellow. Dehydration thickens blood, making clots more likely. And cut back on hidden salt and processed foods. Lower sodium keeps blood pressure in a healthy range. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Chronic stress and poor rest raise cortisol, which raises blood pressure and inflammation. Try deep breathing, evening stretches, or a short gratitude practice before bed. Silent risks like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and atrial fibrillation often have no symptoms until it's too late. Get your numbers checked at least once a year, and follow through on your doctor's advice. Mrs. Patel, 68, started with just a 15-minute morning walk and swapping her evening chips for a handful of almonds. In 6 months, her blood pressure dropped 15 points, and her doctor reduced her medication. She feels more energetic and confident. I know making changes can feel overwhelming, but you don't need to do everything at once. Pick just one habit this week, a daily walk, one less salty snack, or a few extra vegetables. The progress will build. Tell me in the comments, which of these habits feels easiest to start today? Your answer might inspire someone else to take their first step. Now that you have the tools for prevention, let's end this video with a powerful summary and a call to action that could save someone else's life. Let's bring it all together. Stroke and aging may look similar, but now you know how to spot the difference. Sudden weakness, slurred speech, drooping face, one-sided numbness, vision changes, dizziness. These are emergencies, not just signs of getting older. Remember the FAST test: face, arms, speech, time. Face drooping, arm drifting, speech slurred, time to call 911 right away. Every minute you save can protect millions of brain cells. The best part? You now have the power to protect yourself and your loved ones. With daily movement, balanced meals, and regular checkups, you can lower your stroke risk and stay independent for years to come. Imagine yourself a year from now, still walking with confidence, still laughing with family, still remembering every detail of the stories you love to tell, all because you took action today. Tell me in the comments, which of these warning signs surprised you the most? Have you or someone you love ever faced a stroke scare? Your story could save another life. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe so more seniors can learn these life-saving tips. Hit the bell icon so you never miss our weekly videos designed to keep you strong, safe, and independent. In our next video, we'll cover the hidden nighttime habits that silently raise blood pressure and how to fix them before bed. You won't want to miss it. Take care of yourself, my friend. Stay alert, stay strong, and keep listening to what your body is telling you, because your best years can still be ahead.